You heard of Dr. Pepper? Well, I'm Dr. Gorgeous. Call Dr. Gorgeous. Ring, ring, ring. Call Dr. Gorgeous. Ring, ring, ring. Hello, I'm Dr. Gorgeous. How can I help you? Isn't that great? Isn't that funsy? If you listen to the radio when you're in Boston, you'll know everyone calls Dr. Gorgeous. People call me from the Massachusetts Turnpike because they just met someone at a rest stop and they've fallen in love. I am having the best time. In fact, my first show really happened by accident. I was a Newton housewife with 4 wonderful kids. My husband, Henry, is a very prominent attorney. We live a very comfortable life. In other words, everything was just great, and I needed a little sparkle to make it all perfect. So, fast forward, so many women at the Newton Temple Bethel Sisterhood wanted to know how I manage in our frantic modern times to maintain a warm traditional household that they begged me to give a speech to their local chapter. Well, P.S., who should be in the audience but Rabbi Carl Perlstein, the host of Newton at Sunrise. Newton at Sunrise! Oh, Perlstein was so impressed by my presentation that he invited me on his show. Fast forward, I become a regular on Perlstein's show, that he was indicted, and the rest is history. Now you just ask anyone in suburban Boston, Framingham, Natick, or Lynn who Dr. Gorgeous is, and they all know who I am. I'm what you call a real middle-aged success story, and I am having a ball. It is really funsy. Let's call it a day. Call it a day. What kind of day should we call it? Like we're calling strikes in a baseball game? You're out? Did you know that baseball is the only game that counts errors? It's in a book. Katie gave me the book of the spirituality of imperfection. Yeah, Katie gave me a spiritual book. It was one of those, I got this, mommy. Don't worry. Phases. She was always telling me not to worry. How can you be the mother of an addict and not worry? She would say, I'm good, I got this. Good until she's not, right? Good until my spoons are missing. Good until she's sneaking out. Good until no one is there to save her. I can't call it a day. Tomorrow is impossible.